It is now my honor and a privilege to present the 2019 VFW Armed Forces Award to Admiral Michelle J. Howard, United States Navy, retired. There you go, Navy in the house. Admiral Howard was the first African-American woman to command a U.S. Navy ship, the USS Rushmore, and the first to achieve both 2- and 3-star ranks. You'll be doing a lot of applauding before I get through this bio, I guarantee you. In 2006, she was selected for the rank of Rear Admiral Lower Half, making her not only the first female graduate of the U.S. Naval Academy selected for flag rank, but the first admiral selected from her entire graduating class of 1982. On July 1st, 2014, she became the first woman to become a 4-star admiral. As Vice Chief of Naval Operations, which she began that same day, she became the first woman as well as first African American to hold that post. Howard also became the first female 4-star admiral to command operational forces when she assumed command of U.S. Naval Forces Europe and U.S. Naval Forces Africa. Starting to figure out real quick, she is the real deal. You got it. The VFW Armed Forces Award has been presented annually since 1964 to operational units as well as active or retired members of the armed forces for outstanding contributions to national security. The award recognizes extraordinary achievements that reflect the highest traditions of service. Admiral Howard's near 36-year career has been a record of many firsts, but what's most important to the VFW is she led from the front while taking care of her sailors and their families. Now it is with great pride and honor that the Veterans of Foreign Wars of the United States presents its 2019 Armed Forces Award to a veteran of Operations Desert Shield, Desert Storm, and Joint Endeavor, of humanitarian relief efforts in Indonesia and maritime security operations in the North Persian Gulf, and the rescue of merchant mariner Captain Richard Phillips from pirates off the coast of Somalia. Now we're talking. Please welcome Admiral Michelle Howard.
Armed Forces Award and citation awarded to Admiral Michelle J. Howard, United States Navy, retired, in special recognition and sincere appreciation of her faithful and dedicated service to America, her Navy, her sailors, and joint service teammates and their families at home and abroad. Admiral Howard's near 36-year career has been a record of many firsts, from achieving flag rank and commanding ships to becoming the Vice Chief of Naval Operations and Combatant Commander of U.S. Naval Forces Europe and U.S. Naval Forces Africa. Her selfless service to nation is true to the ideals, traditions, and values of the Veterans of Foreign Wars of the United States, in witness whereof we have hereunto set our hands, and the official seal of the Veterans of Foreign Wars of the United States, this 22nd day of July, 2019, approved by the National Council of Administration, signed by B.J. Lawrence, Commander-in-Chief, and Kevin Jones, Adjutant General.
One more time, raise the roof.
All right, good morning, shipmates. Well, let me start by thanking the veterans of foreign wars for this recognition. It's a privilege to address members of an organization that has devoted its existence to honoring military service and promoting patriotism. I suspect that one of my factors in my selection for this award is that my career has often been described as breaking through the glass ceiling. But perhaps since we're all veterans, we know senior officers are referred to the brass. And I would describe my and other women's advancements in the armed forces as breaking through the brass ceiling. Breaking through the brass ceiling is one perspective. Another is that our military organizations create environments for their members to succeed. In all of our services, we have opened up our aperture beyond equal opportunity and have come to recognize the importance of diversity to mission success. And I understand that diversity means many things to many people, but particularly for women and minority members, how we see ourselves defines our ideas. And how we see ourselves is a result of our upbringing and our experiences. But I'd like to share with you just one sea story on this topic. When I had command of USS Rushmore, I was asked to speak to elementary children in a neighborhood school. And after talking a little bit about myself in command of the ship, the youngsters asked me questions. And they were easy with me at first. And I was able to answer with confidence questions such as, why are Navy ships gray? Do you see dolphins at sea? And then this young boy stood up. And he started with, how can you be in command of a ship? You're, and he paused, searching for words. And in that 2-second pause, so much went through my mind. Was he going to comment on me being a woman? And then I found myself praying, please, Lord, do not let this child ask me about my heritage. And then he continued, how can you be in command of a ship? You're short. Bring out the box. Diversity is not about height. Diversity is the opportunity to aspire to the heights. And I've been very fortunate and joined a service that allowed me to get to the heights. And I've had many assignments throughout my 35 years. And years ago, when I was in a session with a fellow Admiral that I had recently met, early in the conversation, he stated that he'd read my biography. He recounted that I was in the first Gulf War, that I was in the Pentagon on 9/11, that early in my second 2004 deployment, I was involved in Indonesia tsunami relief operations. And within 48 hours of taking command of the counter-piracy task force, an American was kidnapped at sea. And so then this Admiral blurted out, boy, are you lucky. And he's right. I am lucky and blessed. In my case, I've had command several times, and I've always been trained and ready to take on the challenges that came to me and my team. In addition, I am lucky and blessed that I grew up in a service in a nation where over the years, opportunities have expanded for women and minorities. And I have been lucky and blessed to serve with sailors, Marines, soldiers, airmen, guard, and reserves who volunteer to protect the Constitution, our people, and our American ideals. And I have been lucky and blessed that I've had over 3 decades of service with shipmates who live a life of purpose on and off duty. They know service is about the people of this country. Service is based on a constant belief in these ideas of opportunity and freedom, ideals based on our Constitution, our rights and responsibilities as citizens. And it's these ideals that remain the impetus and motivation behind my commitment to our armed forces and to our veterans. We veterans represent the fabric and strength of our nation. Our military draws its talent from that strength and ensures that we services represent all of America. So whether we are Army, Navy, Marine Corps, Air Force, Reserve Guard, and my favorite sibling sister service, the Coast Guard, that we, in defending our nation, must mirror the faces of the citizens we defend. And it's important that we reflect America because sometimes societal attitudes shift because the brass ceiling is broken. Living role models can be very powerful, and they can influence and change the beliefs of those who encounter them. So any individual who breaks through the brass ceiling is significant for our nation, and we need to continue shaping future leaders who not only break that ceiling, but shatter it to pieces. And so for my fellow veterans, each of you, you are role models in your communities. You inspire your hometowns, your neighbors, friends, and families. And it's this inspiration that generates willingness for others to serve. So sometimes citizenship can be bounded by color or by gender, but it's your inspiration that unites us as patriots. And it's your inspiration that will ensure one day there will be a future patriot, and it will no longer be rare for women to achieve command or senior leadership position in our armed forces. So I thank you. In order to get through brass ceilings, we all must have the same firm footing when we start the journey. And that's once we've gone through the ceiling, we're obligated to reach out and pull up. And in thanking all of you in the VFW, if I had to describe how I see you, it's this notion of reaching out and pulling up. Thank you for continuing your focus on military service. You provide veteran support for the return to civilian life and our communities. You pave the way for veterans to be as successful as full-time citizens as we have been in our military careers. So BJ, thank you again for this award. I accept it on behalf of all of the servicemen and women that I've served with and for those who still serve. May God bless our armed forces and our veterans. Thank you.